Hey there, hope you're doing well. In this video, we're going to take a quick look at Snowpal's education platform. I'm going to socialize with you as to how you can create content, course content, and monetize course content. Now, there are many ways you could do this, not just on our platform, on other places as well. Just to get that out of the way, platforms like Udemy and Coursera, each one has its pros and cons. We also have support for you to publish your course content. Now, there are differences between each of these platforms, obviously, and I'm going to explain to you why ours is different and why we think you're going to actually benefit more by creating content and publishing on our platform. How easy it is, what the differences are, and so on and so forth. So, without further ado, let's just get right into the actual. I'm going to show you a few courses that are already published, and then I'm going to explain to you what some of the differences might be. Now, again, do your own due diligence because when it comes to monetization in particular, things always change. I don't know what percentage of revenue the other platforms share with you. I think it probably depends on a variety of factors like the popularity of the course, the timing, your experience, perhaps your own popularity, maybe. I don't know. I'm assuming a number of these things come into play because each platform has its own criteria. Ours is quite simple. We have a template that you can follow. The course content we have should serve as examples for you to create content. Again, it can be different, but we just need for you to follow a certain kind of a template, if you will. The idea is to keep the courses short and sweet to the extent possible and make it very affordable. Our current courses are priced at less than the price of a drink, for the most part, at least, price of a drink at Starbucks or other coffee shops. They're very affordable, so people across the globe can actually benefit from good content, good material, learn and good learning, and it doesn't have to break their banks. As we get into the video a bit more, I'll tell you about the different facets of it. But that's what it is. So if you're somebody who likes to create content, course content, and also wants to have a way to monetize your originality and your creativity and your skills, certainly take a look at what I'm going to share with you. And if you have any questions, definitely hit us up. So let me do a share my screen here. We're going to start with our with you being able to publish your content on our web platform. We'll start there and then work our way to the mobile platforms. Before we even do that, let's try to draw something to capture. Snowpal Education Platform. Okay, let me make sure I'm sharing and recording. Yes, I am. Snowpal Education Platform. As to what the exact specific differences are, again, I have some idea about how the rest of the platforms work and how we are different. But take what I say with a grain of salt. Do your own research and figure out. And you have questions, and if I say something slightly differently from how the other platforms have changed in the recent past, definitely let us know. We are happy to learn in the process as well. But the idea here is to give an opportunity, a platform for the larger community, not just in technology, but in all other aspects of whatever your skills are, whatever industry you're working in, and whatever your role is in that industry. It does not matter. Somebody else is going to benefit from your knowledge, and the idea here is to make that available easily and at an affordable price for everyone. Okay, so first, one of the things is where this gets published. Web platform. Just going to keep it short here. The tool actually has this tool. When you type few more characters, it makes it very tiny. Okay. Mobile apps. I'm just going to still say web platform. Okay. Hopefully it's big enough. Yep. Okay, that's two places where let's draw a frame around it. Available to be consumed on these two platforms. Okay. Okay. Let's draw our customary arrows. So let me, between these two, actually, maybe I have to, can I make these arrows bi-directional? Oops, that. Okay. The reason I do that is, when you publish it on the web, it's independent of the mobile app. So you can actually we have it published. Typically, we publish it on both platforms, but if for any reason you want it to be published on one and not the other, that's fine too. We have a way to support that specific need. Typically, our course creators are generally wanting for their courses to be on multiple platforms, but we can see reasons for why you might need it in one place and perhaps not the other. Maybe the type of content, maybe the type of consumption that happens, or how, a lot of the courses, they're just fine to be consumed on mobile. I think the screens have become big enough now, whether it's, iPads or other tablets or your mobile phones. But there might be scenarios where you're like, you know what, this is better served just for the phone or just on the web. So we have support for it if you needed that in any case. Okay. Trying to, oops, trying to move this along with the frame. Okay. That's where it's getting published, right? Essentially, I want to maybe instead of available to be I think published on short and sweet. Yep. The next is, what are some of our differentiations? So let's see. Let's pick a different shape here. Let's take circles, and we're going to pick a different color. Monetization. Monetization. That's one of the important items here. The other platforms, I'm just going to draw. Actually, we'll add the arrows after we draw more of these circles. Yep, because there's a lot of differentiating aspects, if you will. Monetization. With on the other platforms, again, you have to look up the exact numbers as to what they share. Like I said a little bit too earlier, depending on the type of course, like if you're creating an AI course today that deals with generative AI, I'm sure more people are creating that given the demand and the surge of late. So but still it's a new field, so they would have a certain pricing model, monetization model, where how much you get, what the split is. But if you're teaching something like Java development, for instance, there's probably dime a dozen courses already on those platforms. Not to say that there isn't a need for yet another one or new ones, because everyone brings a unique flavor of teaching, and it's not like Java is stagnant either. I just took that as an example. They probably, I reckon they probably give you take more of the cut. uh, so in our case, it's pretty straightforward. For the most part, it's an even split. You create the content, you allow us to publish your content on our platforms, and for every sale that's made, you get 50%, and we keep 50% for all of the cost, for the time it takes for us to create these platforms, the web, mobile, make it available, and do any form of advertising that we do, content marketing around the content. We do all of that for you. So your job is just create the content, hand it to us, and you're done, literally. So the split is even, regardless of the type of content or the course content you're creating, at least as of the time of this recording, it's pretty much 50-50, right? That's the first big plus. Monetization. The second item here is basically, I want to say, personalization, if that's, maybe there's a better word, but let's go with that. What I mean by personalization, at least in this context, is, you know what, why don't we look up the actual meaning so I know I'm not personalization. Yeah, the act of producing something to meet someone's individual requirements. So I did pick the right word. I don't know what level of personalization the other platforms allow, but I can speak to our platform. Given that we are a startup, we are a product startup that does many products. This is one of our products. We understand the challenges that involved in creating something like this. So we are happy to work with you to make to have it sort of customizable to your needs. You might have questions about, hey, how should I go about creating content, and maybe this is I want to talk about maybe pre-sales, or I want to talk about, I don't know, advertising, or it's AI, and you're not exactly certain where to start or how to have a series of courses, and you need some help from our team to sort of guide you. We are happy to do that. And imagine asking that off of these other platforms that are much larger. I doubt they're going to provide any level of customization or personalization, perhaps none, if they're able to do any at all. So that's the second thing. So whether you're an experienced course creator or somebody who's new, who's never done this before, or maybe you graduated recently, you have some learnings, you want to talk about how to enroll into colleges, or what your college learning has been, whatever it is to help the next generation of folks who are getting into college, you may want to know how to create this content. Imagine anything that you take for granted, sometimes we take for granted, I should say, is something that adds meaningful value to somebody else who has not actually done any of it or as much of it as you might have done. So it's important to recognize that, because once we solve the problems, we tend to think, hey, how difficult is it? And that's not true. It's not difficult for you because you've done it once, twice, many times. But it is actually difficult at that point for somebody else because they have not done enough of it. So anything that you think adds value, there's a good chance it does add value. The challenge is in creating it, making it professional and formal, and formal/informal, but professional, and making it available to people across the globe. So personalization. The third is marketing. Now, again, when you go to the other platforms, they are, they they have ways to market. I'm not saying they don't, but how we do it is going to be different, and it is again going to tie into personalization. Uh, how to create content around the course. Some of it we do for you, but if you want to do more and have us make that available to your community, we can do that as well. But we do assist you in the process of marketing this to the extent we can, to guide you, to help you create content around it if you needed to, but also take our time in creating it where we have the affordability of time. And we take a particular, if we end up taking a particular or a special interest in your course, because it somehow resonates with us as well, just given what we do. So we are able to provide some level of marketing support for you, perhaps more so than other platforms, but certainly some level of support. So monetization, let's put it here. Again, at the time of this recording, it's a 50-50 even split. We absorb the cost of all of running the platform, making it available, so you have no cost. That's the other thing, right? Other than the time you take to create the content, to capture your originality into meaningful content, the rest of it is something that we handle. But there is given that there is an even 50-50 split. So let's say you charge a course at like $9.99. Let's make it even round number, $10, or for instance, and you sell 100 units of that course, and the overall amount, the monetization is 100 times $10 is $1,000. You get to pocket for $500, and we keep $500. It's as simple as that for most of the courses. Uh, okay, so personalization, marketing, monetization. Uh, what else can we possibly add here that is a very broader, different category? Um, uh, Ease of creation. Again, I don't know how the other platforms, what requirements they have. I'm pretty sure they expect you to, conform to certain templates and whatnot. we give you a lot of flexibility. As long as the courses are, I mean, there's a certain category of courses that we may or may not support. But if it's general topics where people can learn that and benefit in the area of business, marketing and engineering and medicine and whatever it is, your skills are in law, then you're able to create that content. How you create it, again, the ease of creation. We have informally created content. I'll share, socialize some of the courses we have with you. It's not like you have a book they're flipping through hundreds of pages. People have, like it or not, much shorter attention spans as we in 2024, and unless things change in the near future. So it's hard to create content like 60-second TikTok kind of course content, but we keep our courses to between 30-45 minutes to an hour and a half, because it's a topic, it's small enough. The idea is you people spend time, they purchase it, they watch it, and they've learned something from it they can put into immediate use. Now you could have a series of courses, because not everything can be taught in like nice 45 to 90 minutes. We understand that. But again, the idea is not to, stretch time to just for the sake of stretching it. The idea here is to provide this content, rich content, in the quickest possible time you can. That quick could mean 30 minutes in some cases and 90 minutes in other cases, or it could even be as high as like 2 hours. I think we do have some courses that are close to 2 hours. But that's sort of the upper limit we have thus far. Now, you may have a reason to go less than 30 minutes or more than 2 hours. We can work with you in making that happen. But that's the idea. The ease of creation is you know what you're doing, you're comfortable, you're an expert in that field, you do a recording, and that's it. You're done. That's as simple as it is. We don't expect you to, have a lot of work content around the actual course itself. We may ask you for a couple of paragraphs so we can, for search engine optimization purposes, we can put that on these different platforms. But the majority of your time, the crux of your time, 95% of the time is in simply creating the content and handing it over to us. There's no other overhead you have to deal with. Those are broader items, but I think that's all right for now. Let me actually see if I can make these circles a little bit smaller. Okay, and maybe I'll put them side by side. Uh, I didn't want to add a separate one for support, because we'll just say that the personalization kind of covers that. Let's see, where's the frame? Unique selling proposition. Okay. That's essentially a primer, if you will, or introduction to our education platform. This is let's split this into two videos. Actually, now that I think about it, we've spent about 15-20 minutes here. This is video 1 of 2 in this introducing Snowpal Education Platform to You series. The next one, we'll actually look at the current courses and the platforms in detail. But this should give you an introduction to it. But before I actually end this, let me put a URL here: learn.snowpal.com. That's basically the web platform. And then for the mobile, you can go to ios.snowpal.com to download the iOS app. And then if you want to go to the Play Store, you can just go directly to android.snowpal.com, right? So those are, let's maybe give it a slightly color. Those are our actual, platforms where you can, these courses are available. Okay, let's end this video here, and we'll pick this up in the next one. Thank you.